Premier Doug Ford hosting Mayor Olivia Chow for a meeting here at Queen's Park this afternoon. It's the first time they've done so face-to-face since she was elected 2 months ago. And there was no shortage of things for them to discuss, of course, with the city's dire financial situation at the top of the list.
A long-term financial deal, so we can make life more affordable in the city of Toronto.
A big ask from the Mayor of Toronto in advance of the meeting in an effort to help deal with a budget shortfall of $1.5 billion this year. The outcome of the first meeting with the Premier, however, fell short. Instead, a working group will be formed involving both levels of government to come up with some sort of deal over the course of a couple of months. You've mentioned a working group with a deadline of end of November. That's a fairly tight deadline to come up with some sort of new deal.
It's a plan that we're going to be able to move forward and support the City of Toronto. I have always said, you know, as you've heard, Ontario's the engine of Canada. Well, Toronto's the engine of Ontario, and we have to make sure we're working together collaboratively and cooperatively.
We'll find ways to cooperate to deal with that budget deficit that we have, which is in many ways structural. It's not a one-time only. There are structural changes that we need.
Mayor Chow coming into the meeting talking about the possibility of getting permission for the city to implement new revenue tools like a municipal sales tax or getting a share of the existing HST. Ford has always said no to any new taxes and was steadfast that it still won't happen. However, the idea of sharing what already exists seems to be on the table.
I'm just not in favor, and especially in these times that people are struggling to put more of a burden on the backs of the taxpayers. There's always ways to, we look at revenue growth opposed to taxing people.
Both making a point of saying the federal government needs to step up and play a part as well, something the province and the city will always have in common. The future of Ontario Place and its redevelopment continues to be a battle, with the province pushing forward with plans for a private water park, while Olivia Chow continues to push for more public space and for everyone to play by the rules before anything is done.
There's a City Hall process. I want to make sure that it's honored. It wouldn't be delayed, because I think it's important that when we made a promise that the final planning decision would come forward in December.
This is not a one-and-done meeting, of course. The relationship between the province and City of Toronto is always ongoing with plenty to resolve. Mark McAllister, City News.